All right, guys, welcome back to the Spin Zone podcast with me, Cake Eater. We got my man Vile, my man Chad, and also my man Martine. How are you guys doing today? What's going on with you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'm going to start calling Martine Triple M, kind of like
Triple
Triple
M.
H, because he's going to be
All
main
right.
man Martine.
Hey,
Hey, that's what's
I love
up,
that.
man. That's been going on. So, first off, this episode is sponsored by Bays and Bricks. So, Chad, go ahead.
remember everyone, be sure to visit Bays and Bricks today and use code SPINZONE to save 7% off your order. That's SPINZONE at Bays and Bricks for 7% off your order.
Wonderful. So, there are still some great pickup at Bays and Bricks. So, go ahead, go to baysandbricks.com and use the code word SPINZONE to get some money off of your purchase. So this is gonna be a great episode. So Vile actually had his very first tournament this past Saturday. Vile, would you like to kind of talk about that and tell the people how it all went and everything?
Well, can you guys hear me good right now?
Yeah, you
Yep.
good?
All
Good.
right. So, pretty much the event went, I would say, pretty well. There were 27 people who had pre registered on the WBO website, which I'd say is pretty solid considering I gave everyone about 5 to 6 days notice, which isn't a whole lot in this community. So, I was pretty impressed with that. Out of the 27 initial registrations, 26 of them showed up. And even the guy who didn't show up let me know he wasn't going to be there. So, it actually, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Only having one no show is much less than normal, apparently. So I was pretty pleased with that. The tournament did start off about 15 minutes late. We did have a couple of locals, including our good friend Rico Bay, who video chatted me from his car. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Please
Oh
wait
no,
for
he
me.
didn't.
He did. He did.
Oh,
I knew he was on his way because he was in his car driving.
that's
Like,
Right.
incredible.
and
Those
we
are
had
like,
another local that was a few minutes late, and then we actually had a couple guys come all the way down from Duluth. And
Damn,
ooh,
coincidentally enough, they took third and fourth place, so that was pretty interesting. But
dude, that's
they made the drive all
huge.
the way down from Duluth, um, and they were about 10 minutes late, I would say. Which is it happens when you're driving 2.5 hours. It is what it is. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, everything kicked off, and the event went pretty swimmingly. There were no major issues. I will say that the 5 p.m. start time, is probably mostly that. It could have been a little bit of the short notice thing too, but I noticed there weren't too many kids there. I think the youngest kid, quote unquote, was probably 14 or 15, and there were maybe a couple around that age. T Dog was there. I think he's about 16, but then the rest were adults. It was like 90% adults. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it was a little bit different vibe. There was a lot less launching errors. There were a lot less, violations and things like that. It was a very clean event. And not a quiet event in the sense that Beyblade is still loud and people still get excited, but it was Chad wouldn't have had an aneurysm at this one. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
That's good though, at
Oh,
least.
yes. So it went really well. What I did, which is a little bit different, was I went ahead and did the prize reveals kind of in like a staged order. So like after round one, I revealed what I guess they can pick what they want depending on their placement order. But I reveal what I thought would be the fourth place prize, and then the third place prize after round two, the second place prize after round three, and then the first place prize after round four. So it was kind of interesting to do it that way, because I personally did not know what the prizing was going to be until like 5 minutes before the event. I had some ideas. I had a bunch of product with me, but I was going to go ahead and let the prize pool, so to speak, um, be determined based on the number of entries. If that makes any sense, yeah.
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 Hey, I like that you kind of gave the, I guess, anticipation. I guess you can call it, or
Yeah,
what's
yeah. I mean, I did like that. That was kind of the intent. Um, but just also, I didn't know what the monetary amount that Kraken Hits was going to be able to reimburse me for was going to be until I knew how many paid entries we had. Right. So, um, what I will say, and I don't want to get too deep into Kraken Hits private business, but what I will tell you is that what they want to take home per head is a lot lower than I think a lot of other places would expect. So props to them for not like being at all greedy. Like their cut is actually like probably a little bit below what I think would be fair. So
Right.
I have a lot of respect for Joe and the rest of the guys at Kraken for looking out for the community and not just looking to line their own pockets like some places might.
Yeah, and that's what's up. So big shout out to Kraken Hits. They put on and they also let us have great events. It's a great location, a lot of game space. So us at the Spin Zone podcast give a huge shout out to Kraken Hits for just literally everything. So shout out to you guys.
Yeah, so the venue was great. Joe was great to work with. He was there exactly when he said he was going to be. So even though Kraken isn't technically open till 5, he had the doors open at 4 for us so that people who got there early could practice, gave me time to get everything set up, laptop plugged in, figure out, you know, who was running late, why they were running late, all these different things that I needed to do before the event started. Um, Everything went really, really well. For those of you who haven't seen my placement thread, Emrys Tall took home first in this one. He beat actually his teammate Wayward in the finals. So Wayward took second place, and then, like I said earlier, the two gentlemen that came down from Duluth took third and fourth place respectively. I think the third place's guys, I think his tag was Retro Nostalgia Fan, and then fourth place was Mecha Max. So, um, as I said on the Discord already, shout out to them for making the long trip down. That's a lot of dedication.
Yeah, was
You know,
that like an hour or something drive or hour and a
I
half?
think I think I think Duluth's like 2.5 from the cities.
Two and a half.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. That's why I'm honestly asking. And
Yeah,
Wayward,
it's like about that distance. Yeah, that's pretty far out.
yeah, Wayward says up
Yes.
Wayward up in chat says, "Hats off to Vile for this event. It was a blast."
Well, I
Hey,
appreciate that, Wayward. Thank you very much. So yeah, the event went really well. We had all kind of the normal positive stuff. Wayward had a number of spin stands there that he was selling for interested parties. Egg Salad had his normal stock and assortment of different Beyblades and parts and accessories and all that, like he normally does.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to them for keeping everybody fed, so to speak. I want to come to that. And it was just a great event. You know, I'll talk a little bit about the pricing. Because of Kraken Hits structure, they do allow for pretty solid pricing, and I'm hoping that I can continue to offer good pricing. Um, as a lot of you guys know, we do have the tariffs in play now, and we do have packages that get held up a lot more regularly than they used to. So I don't know how pricing is going to be going forward. I happen to be able to do really well for this event because I did have a lot of stuff that I had acquired pre-tariffs when the pricing was still a bit better. We will see, you know, if I can continue to navigate that minefield going forward. But the prizes were pretty lit. People seem to think. Emrys in first place left with a black metal coat Cobalt Dragoon. Wayward in second place took home the orange Phoenix feather, and I'm not talking about like the
ooh,
boring one. I'm talking about like the orange metal coat blade.
Like the
Um,
orange.
yeah, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
the nice metal coat version, the premium version.
Yeah.
And then our third place winner, Retro Nostalgia Fan, took home a Samurai Caliber. That new Samurai Bay that's out pretty recently that people are still sleeping on, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
that's another discussion. And then fourth place was a little bit more boring. It was a Hasbro booster, but it was Tide Whale. So, you I know if you can find one in the wild, they're $8, but on eBay they're 20, 25 still, and they're sold out online pretty much everywhere else. So I don't know. People seem to like the prizing. I had people at the event comment on the prizing. Martine, I think, even commented on the chat. He's like, bro, that's pretty good pricing. What were you charging for entry? And I'm like, just the normal 70. He's like, wow, type of thing. So overall, I think it went real good. I was real
Yeah.
happy with it. Everyone seemed to have fun. The vibe was very positive. And no major issues at all. It was just really well done. All the bladers did great. A lot of sportsmanship. Um, a lot of professionalism. I was just real happy with the event overall.
Yeah, and I
That's good.
haven't heard really actually I haven't heard any bad about your event. So kudos to you, man. Like so what what preparations did you put into this event like to kind of get you ready, and do you have any tips and advice for anyone that would like to kind of set up their very first tournament event?
So what I'll say on this subject is, first off, I did not actually plan super well for this, and not that I didn't have ideas, not that I didn't have thoughts, but you guys got to understand that I didn't have the venue locked down for this day until Sunday night. Okay, so less than a week before the event was set to take place, and I had never run an event before, so I wasn't exactly. Sam had given me some, how would you say, pointers about kind of how Kraken Hits works and how he wanted things structured based on what he's been doing there. But some of that stuff I just wound up also feeling out for myself with Joe. And Joe's a really good, easygoing guy. So that's the first piece of advice I'll give is, when you are working with a venue, try to work with a venue like Kraken Hits. Doesn't have to be Kraken Hits, but like Kraken Hits, that's easy to work with, that's not trying to take too much off the top so you still have enough budget left for prizing, and just people who want Beyblade in their space. Um, I can't tell you enough how refreshing it is to work with a venue that actually like cares about the community. Um, Versus, I know there are places that just all they see are dollar signs when it comes to anything that they're doing. So,
Right.
Kraken Hits a great venue. So that's my first advice: is partner with a great venue. Um, the second thing I'll say is, when you're doing your own physical prizing and it's going to be based on a budget that is going to be based on the number of attendees, try not to lock, and this is what I did, try not to lock in your prizing. Try to have a few different routes you can go. Try not to lock that in until you know how many people are there, because really you want to try to give the players the best value in prizing that you can, because there are now one, two, three, four different organizers or groups of organizers who are running events in the cities. And I know that there are others like Wayward and Egg who do have their certification, and I'm sure will be running things in the future. And at some point, the organizers that are doing the best by their players are going to be the ones that their events are going to be the most well attended, right?
Yes.
So if you want to be a successful, or you got to do right by your players, you got to make sure that the prizing takes care of them, and that you're working with your venue or with your suppliers or whoever it is you're doing your events with, to make sure you can offer them the best bang for their buck. That's a huge thing in my opinion. The third thing I'll say, and this is kind of a shout out at the same time as this advice, is, if you're a first time org and you're running your first ever event, try to have somebody there to give you a hand who has been there and done it before. And where I say this is a shout out is, Acuna was the only judge at the event other than me. Obviously, there are other people with their judge certs, but Acuna was the one actively judging, and he did help me with some things and make sure that everything was kind of, going the way that it should. So that's another big piece of advice: is, first off, shout out to Acuna, bro. You were great. I really appreciated the assist with everything. You were doing the Lord's work, and that's a big piece of advice too. If you can bring on somebody who has a lot of experience with orging and judging and stuff for your first event, that'll help things run smoothly. Because if you encounter something you're not sure how to handle, that person will probably be able to help you.
Yeah. and that just goes along with anything, just having someone that's a little bit more experienced, because obviously Acuna has done dozens probably of tournaments, and being a first timer, he probably didn't really much lean on him, but you kind of had him in your little back pocket just in case if you did have any questions or concerns, and if you needed help or whatever, he definitely jump into action to help you out for sure.
Yeah, and he was great. I can't say enough positive things about Acuna. And with that being said, you know, the last thing I'll say is always be, when you're orging, when you're judging, when you're doing anything with Beyblade, always be amenable to new possibilities. And that's probably the last thing I'll say about this is like, and this Acuna coming up reminds me of this. Acuna's been running at the library for a long time now. And for those of you who aren't aware, but I'm sure most of you are, the library actually doesn't allow for an entry fee. So Acuna's events, his pricing is essentially capped by whatever his sponsors are willing to hook him up with, and those are usually, some gift certificates for Bays and Bricks or Ripcord Arena or similar, right? Um, but Acuna just kept trucking, kept doing his thing, kept being there for the community. And now finally he has found a venue where he is going to be able to charge an entry fee. And now he'll have all the gift certificates and stuff he's had before, but he'll also be able to do more because he is going to have a prize budget on top of that, right?
Oh, that's
And
huge.
so yeah, absolutely. So just that's what I'm saying. Like as an org, like, if you're just starting out or if you've been doing it for a while, it doesn't matter. This is a good advice for anyone. Always be open to new, potentially better opportunities.
Yeah, and just don't be afraid to try new things. If you want to like make an event, if you want to create a locals, shit, if you want to create a podcast, just don't be afraid to do it. Just fucking do it. Like, look at us. We're 7 episodes in and we're going stronger than ever. So don't be afraid to,
Yeah.
and that just goes not even alongside Beyblades, just even in life. Just don't be afraid to take chances, because YOLO, dude.
I feel like
Freaking YOLO.
you always just want to take a leap of faith in anything you want to do, and
Yeah.
just trust yourself. Be confident with that. Um,
People are
I
just
think
people are just too scared to fail.
right, and like I mean, I I've been trying to get my judge certification and organizer certification for a while, so shouts out to Vile for just getting it. Now we can have someone host, and then we could just be side judges, and then we could just keep it going, and then
See, that's
True.
See, that's what's up, man. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of people have struggled with either the judge or the org certification. And I mean, that's pretty like long standing. Like most people I'm aware of have not passed their first time. I did on both of them. I don't know if I'm lucky or I just, can control F better than other people or what, but like um I was just happy to get it done because I'd had my judge cert since I was probably less than a month into the game. And then the org thing,
Damn.
I kept saying like, "Oh, I'm going to do the org. I'm going to do the org. I'm going to do the," and I kept hemming and hawing and pushing it aside. And maybe it's part of what you guys were saying. Maybe I was scared to fail, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but then I went ahead and did it, and I did very well. And I got accepted, and that was the end of it. And now being able to host that first event, get kind of that big weight off my shoulders, I'm really excited. And in fact, real quick, before we move on to the next subject, I did want to announce, because I know you're going to go run through the upcoming events at the end, but this isn't going to be up there quite yet because I just got approval on it last night. But I
Oh.
will be running an event November 15th at Kraken Hits, 5 p.m. start time, doors at 4 p.m. And
Ooh.
I would love, and I'm going to say this now, and we'll see how things play out. But I'll also put this on the WBO link once it hopefully goes up, probably tonight. If we can get 40 or more players, because again, the more players, the more money into the prize budget, right? If we can get 40 or more players, I am going to try to bring an extra special prize for first place.
Ooh.
So Let's go ahead and try to get those numbers. Guys, I'll have the event link up. Like I said, hopefully later tonight, I'll be spamming it all over. So everyone should be able to see it. And yeah, I want to pack crack and hits as full as it can be. Let's put it that way. So
Hey,
it'd be a lot of people, but that sounds like a great event.
well,
I think we can do it.
Oh yeah.
I think I think we can too. There's a particular bay that has a lot of different metal coats, and there are some pretty cool, unique ones, and maybe one of those might, splish
Ooh.
splash into the prize pool if we can get 40 or more people. That's all I'm going to say about that for now.
Or instead of splish splash, you mean it might shine into the event?
all right, you're
You know,
done.
see, splish splash wasn't a reference to any particular like bay. It was the reference to the bay was that it has a lot of different metal coats, and there's only a few bays that fit that qualification. So people may be able to guess, they may not. But that's all I'm going to say about it for right now.
Well, speaking of bays, we actually had a comment on one of our previous episodes, and you guys have probably seen it already, but it is Emperor.
Oh, the waffle is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't know how I personally feel about Emperor. It's cool, and I like how metal it is, especially the metal chip. But other than I don't care for the design.
That's fair.
So I think the design looks pretty decent. And what I like the most, and you guys have heard me talk about this in previous episodes, what I like the most is that the paywall in front of the metal lock chip is not going to be quite as bad as it has been previously, only being accessible through the rare prize bay Valkyrie Bolt, right? So I think this is a good thing. Now, my only question, and you guys please answer this for me because I literally have no idea, is will this Emperor metal chip be usable in the same deck that also uses a Valkyrie Volt metal chip? Is that a thing or is that not a thing?
Oh, that is a wonderful question because TT, I believe, just like within the past couple of days came to the consensus that you're allowed to use both.
Can use both.
Yeah, because they're not
because
the same.
It's a different chip.
Is a different chip.
Okay, well that's good to know because I did notice from my forays into overseas markets that a lot of people were panic selling Valkyrie Volts at, I would say, significantly lower prices than they had been. Maybe that will kind of stop or ease up a little bit now if you can use both of them. But I don't think there'd been an official ruling on that yet. So at that time, so it's good to have an understanding of what the game plan is going to be. But most people are only running, if any, one CX bay right now. So I think even just having access to one metal chip and not having to buy Valkyrie Volt to do that is a positive, right?
Yes.
Like it's a step in the right direction.
So I guess
speaking of the new bays,
the new face
oh
bolt is
no,
heavier.
there's still one more.
You are allowed to use 2 at this point. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what we thought. It's just different. But what were you saying, Chad?
There's one more Beyblade we have to talk about because in that same announcement that showed off, the Emperor, we have a new Wolf Bay on the way.
I don't know if I've seen the Wolf yet.
Yeah,
we do.
They leaked the CX Wolf Bay, and the lock chip looks pretty cool. It's like a wolf howling.
Oh.
Is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be the spiritual successor to Silverwolf? Kind of. Is that the deal?
Yeah,
I believe so.
And that's dope. So Cake, since you're not familiar, it might be the case some of the viewers aren't too. That is going to be separate from the Emperor deck set. That's going to be, I believe it's a booster, right?
Yep. It will be a booster.
So kind of like, for those of you who are familiar with TT releases, kind of like how Dark Perseus was a booster versus some of the other original CXs were starters. Now, other than the Emperor and the Wolf guys, though, there is 2 other things that are coming with the Emperor. Did you guys want to touch on those real quick?
Yeah, go for it. Because I have only seen the Emperor for the releases. I
Yeah.
guess I haven't seen anything else.
So the Emperor comes in a deck set that's going to be very similar to the Shark Scale deck set, where there's 3 total bays in it, right?
Oh, dude, that
Yeah.
Wolf Hunt.
Yeah, well, Wolf Hunt is cool. That's the booster. The other 2
Yeah.
bays that I believe are coming with Emperor, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, is I think we're getting the initial TT release, even though we already have it there here, of that little shark guy. You guys know what I'm talking about? The one that comes in the 2-pack here in America?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gill shark.
Yeah.
I'm looking up
yeah.
the Coral pages. Yeah, the gill
Yes.
shark. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's coming, and I believe he's got a blue theme to him rather than the wacky Miami Dolphins color scheme that we got here.
That is
And then, and then the other
I'm
really
dead.
cool thing, guys, and I'm really excited about this one, is the green metal coat, like I swear, like Ninja Turtle homage, because if Golem Rock doesn't look like a turtle shell, I'm not sure what it looks like. Yeah, the green metal coat Golem Rock. That's gonna be sweet. That deck set,
absolutely.
I think I've actually did
like,
see that one. Yes.
I think that deck set is, I don't want to say a must buy, but I think between the new Emperor Bay, it coming with the metal lock chip, and a brand new like green metal coat, which is very cool looking in my opinion. For me, it's a must buy, and I think for a lot of bladers, just for the metal lock chip, if nothing else, they're going to be
Yeah,
picking one.
that's definitely going to be worth it. And I mean, I don't own a Golem Rock, but that metal green coat and the gill shark's probably going to just be a must buy, kind of like.
Yeah. The
Yeah, and I
thing
think
I've been hearing, the thing I've been hearing about the Emperor Beyblade that could be interesting is it, at least from the images that I've seen, it looks like it's going to have a mechanic from Burst, which caused a very broken Beyblade, and that is it may have the ability to neutralize ratchet sniping, as in like the ratchet may actually like lock into place in a way where like you have to hit it specifically in order to burst it, which if
Oh
they do that,
God.
oh boy.
Oh God.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah. No. No.
I don't know. I just think
Again,
this
that's
deck
just
set's
the picture. The
I think
pictures
it's
I
a great
saw.
value. Chad, what do you think? Do you think it's a good value?
Oh God, yes, absolutely. Get your Emperor. Let's get rid of Wizard Rod. He's done. He's old. He's decrepit. He's ancient. It's time to move on.
No.
I guess you and Egg are going to be roommates here. Pretty
Yeah,
soon. You guys both hate Wizard Rod.
I mean, I think a lot of people
that
hate
darn
Wizard Rod, but
I do
nobody.
Yes,
too.
because here's the biggest problem that I'm starting to realize with Wizard Rod is it's not just the fact that it is an amazingly well built Beyblade. It's how easily accessible it is. Like a 5-year-old can just waltz into a game shop and be like, "Hey, I want the best Bay ever," and they'll just throw a Wizard Rod directly at them.
Here's the thing. I don't mind that it's accessible. And despite my large amount of spending on Beyblade, okay, I have consistently been an advocate for availability of bays to the masses, right? Like they can make my Aero Pegasus unique by not ever printing another metal coat. But I think everyone should have the ability to get a cheaper version that's easily accessible, right?
Yes.
With that being said, my problem with Wizard Rod is also its accessibility, Chad, but for a slightly different reason. I think it is incredibly easy to use.
That's the other problem. Yes.
Yeah. Because I mean,
And that same 5-year-old that just went and bought one, at the Target 20 minutes before the tournament starts, can then go to the tournament and beat a much better blader without having any understanding of how his bay works.
Pretty much.
And that's where my issue comes in.
well,
Is
my issue is where the hell is this 5-year-old getting the money for a Wizard Rod plus a bit and a ratchet and everything and two
Well,
other
that's the
bays?
scary thing is if you get the green Wizard Rod, it comes on a tournament ready combo, and it's like not what $10 at most,
Or
Right.
I forgot what the green
and
one
it's
comes
on
with.
160 Rush.
160 Rush. Yeah, that's like
Oh,
pretty
ooh.
good.
That's pretty
Pretty
Yeah.
decent.
good.
That's pretty decent.
Especially for something that's that cheap of a price.
Yeah, very true.
And that's what I mean by the accessibility is too much. Like if it were as expensive as like Scorpion or some of the other Beyblades where it's like not ridiculously expensive, but like 20 to $25 would be a much it wouldn't make Rod as much of a threat, I feel like, but also then again, we're starting to get more combos that just outright beat Wizard Rod, so that helps. Unlike you, Clock Mirage, I called it. I absolutely called that dumb clock was going to be easily ratchet sniped, and testing has proven it absolutely gets demolished by ratchet sniping.
Yeah, I'm still getting one though. Just
It's
to
still a
see.
beautiful Beyblade, and I'm definitely gonna try to collect them all like they're Pokemon cards. But at the same time, it's like
Mm-mm.
it, it's like Wizard Rod in terms of like stamina, but it has nowhere near the same defenses, and because of its height, any upper attack bays like Shark Scale, for instance, just they've been clowning on Clock. But it is actually I'd go as far as to say I think I'm hearing that it's almost like A or B level in terms of strength, and that it is actually like really good.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty
just
decent.
got to be very careful what combo you put it on.
Yeah,
I mean,
very
yeah,
true.
it's a bay with a weird height. So I mean, it's kind of in that intermediate height where it's kind of like all you have to do is tilt launch, and then you'll just pop that bit right off.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So guys, there's actually some other new stuff in this Koro. I don't know if you guys seen the images of the pages yet?
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Yeah, I was sending them. Unless you saw something else, I like sent the all of that I could find up in the
Up in the chat.
chat. Yeah, if you guys want to talk about that.
Oh.
Yes. So what is this Lion Bay here? I feel like I've seen this one before, like an image of it, but is this one coming with a Switch game? Is that what's going on?
Another
Let me
one?
see. Yeah, it's like a Crest Leon, like it's the third iteration. I think it's the CX, right? That's the one we were looking at.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it says Beyblade X Evo Battle, and then there's a little thing right under to the side that says Switch game. So maybe they're coming out with a new Switch game, and this is going to be the Bay inside, kind of like they had I don't know, the Ninja. We here it looks really ugly, but Japan got that cool blue metal coat release in their
Uh,
video game for the Switch.
Yeah.
yep.
This will probably be the same thing. This thing looks dope. I mean, like, listen, like the original Leon's, like, the big thick one is like, okay, that looks pretty cool. This one, I mean, it looks like Sol Galeo cake is what it looks like. Yeah.
You know, yeah, I could see that. I like that little fiery kitty.
And then, guys, I don't know if you saw in the next page over, this beautiful shark edge. Almost
Yes.
like a lava shark edge. It looks pretty similar to the black metal coat, like Cobalt Dragoon or
That's
Drandander.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's
This
the
thing is
black metal
beautiful.
Colt.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty sweet though. I do gotta agree.
like, listen, I'm never gonna play Shark Edge at this point in the game's life, most likely, except maybe in a limited tournament. But
Very true.
I will definitely be getting one of these for my display shelf. So
Yeah.
that's really cool
Beautiful.
looking.
Yeah, that wolf pack
Now,
or a wolf hunt. That's what it is. That looks
yeah,
sweet as
Yep.
shit.
it does look sick. Also in the very last, well, I don't know, there's a bunch of different stuff. So in like the last picture that Martine posted, we've got that Irachi Bay. They haven't shown us what the sticker is going to be yet, but it's like a yellow ring and like red
Yeah,
like
that UX
claws.
kind of.
Yeah, the
I wonder what
UX
that
one.
is. That looks cool.
Yeah, they've been calling it Irachi, like a snake or whatever. And it does look kind of snake-like. I think it looks pretty cool. I wonder if it could be a Viper Tail spinoff. I think that'd be neat. I think Viper Tail could use an update.
This is fair.
And we know Viper Tail's kind of like one of the, not like the main characters, but it's definitely like, a featured blade in the anime. So it makes sense that at some point the like team members of the other teams that aren't the captains will also eventually update their bays. So far it's like Persona updates their bays, the other team's captains do. But you would assume at some point the rest of those team members would get newer versions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully, but only time will tell for sure. But yeah,
There's so much new stuff. And Martine, what is this wild looking picture? I think it's the third one from the bottom. It's between where you posted the Koro pages and the wolf hunt. What is this blue monstrosity? What are we looking at here?
This looks like a CX Cobalt Dragoon coming out pretty
Oh,
soon.
yeah.
Oh my God, it is.
That is what
CX.
it looks like.
It looks like a big left spinning Cobalt Dragoon with it kind of looks like
It's
Impact
worse than
Drake.
that. Ladies
Oh,
and
Yeah.
gentlemen, Beyblade X has decided for their next left spin Beyblade to take Cobalt Dragoon and fuse it with Impact Drake in order to make a left spinning, possibly rubber Beyblade.
that's
That
broken.
means all you right spinning stamina and defense types
my
are about to
God.
get a massive wallop to your face.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, this is in line with what we'd heard, though, right? We did hear rumors that there was going to be a new left spin starter, and this could definitely be in a starter type of packaging with a launcher. So, this could be what was being talked about.
Exactly. The thing I hate though is that someone, I forget which Beyblade YouTuber called it, but he mentioned the fact that it was either going to be an homage to Medio El Drago, or it was going to be like some kind of mixed hybrid fusion of Cobalt Dragoon and Impact Drake, and he nailed it.
Wow. So far, these releases just the product overall, like, especially these within these last couple releases that TT has been doing, have been really good.
Oh, they're
I mean,
cooking.
I can tell you guys that a lot of people's wallets are going to be a lot lighter. Like this release schedule is almost like it's almost kind of nuts. Like I'm kind of curious, like how soon is this all coming out? Like is this all before the end of the calendar year? Because if so, everyone better open up their wallets and whip out the Visa and the Mastercard.
Dude, I
Like
hope
Yeah.
not.
Oh man,
For my
Oh,
wallet's sake,
yeah.
I hope not. But for Beyblade
that's
purposes,
full
I do hope
wallet.
so. But who knows?
Hey guys, as long as you use the Spin Zone code, you could get 7% off on all
You're
your
right.
pre-orders.
Wow. You know what? I'm actually
That's
gonna do
Hey,
that.
hey guys,
So-
you'll save $5 for each purchase.
And
hey
basically,
guys, real quick, I am gonna like shoot something out for people because I don't think a lot of people know this. So I think everyone knows that they can use code SpinZone to get 7% off at Bays and Bricks, right? But
Yeah.
something that I don't think people know is that a lot of times Bays and Bricks, if you buy two or more of an identical item, they will give you 10% off. And that stacks with the 7% off.
Yep.
oh damn.
It's almost like
So
Bays and
so
Bricks is an
just
amazing place to shop, and you guys
yeah,
need to go there right now. What are you waiting for? Do it.
and not that everyone needs two soul eclipses or two of the new Howling Wolf or whatever, or two of the new deck set. But what probably happens is them and their buddy both need one each. And if they put it on the same order, not only are they likely going to save a little bit on shipping, but they can get that extra 10% off in addition to the 7% they're already getting by using code SpinZone.
Yeah, that's wild.
So just a money saving tip for everybody who may not be aware of that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Honestly, I did not even know
More of
that.
a reason.
So
I
that
mean,
is
yeah,
As if you already didn't need it.
yeah,
the
true.
holidays are coming up, guys. I might need another shark scale.
Hey,
There you
yeah,
go.
get that
Well,
shark
now
scale box.
this is the perfect way for us to transition. Now that we've talked about the new stuff, I think Cake, you had mentioned to us earlier that we got a comment from someone wanting to know about our anti-meta combos.
Yeah. So, huge shout out to Travis Andrew coming in from the comment section on a couple of our previous episodes. He says, "Hey guys, big fan of the podcast. I was wondering if you guys could touch on some of your favorite bay combinations outside of the 5 to 7 meta main builds that everyone runs. Thanks." Which I like this question. So if you guys want to kind of,
Good question.
it's a great question because I know so many people are. Everyone at least has a wizard, a sharks, a cobalt, or any other like main meta builds in their deck. They have at least one.
Exactly.
So having like something that's not completely meta in your deck is kind of rare. So I know I have a non-meta build. I would say. So let's kind of go around the table and say what your
Okay,
under.
so Cake, real quick,
Yes, sir.
what are we before we start? What are we agreeing are the bays that are too meta to be talked about here?
I believe the top meta bays are Shark Scale,
Okay.
Yep.
Wizard Rod,
Yep.
Yep.
Wyvern,
Yep.
Yep.
uh, Cobalt Drake
Wolf
or
and
Dragoon,
Kobold.
Yep.
Phoenix.
Phoenix Wing. Yeah,
Oh.
Phoenix Wing was
Or
really
Phoenix.
meta back in the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Silver Wolf, obviously.
yeah, so
Yeah, I
that
think
was
Silverwolf.
that was the other one. I knew I was missing one of them, but yeah, at least
And I think I saw it 6. I think to round out the top 7, I'd also offer Arrow Pegasus, which I know
That's true.
a lot of people don't think of as meta because they don't have access to it. But if you look at the results from the worlds that just happened, Arrow Pegasus was actually used about 3 times more than Hover Wyvern was. So if
Oh,
we're
I
including
didn't
Hover
know that.
Wyvern, I think we have to include Arrow Pegasus too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I
fair.
didn't. Uh,
Yeah,
Otherwise, I
Arrow-
was going to say Black
definitely not
Pegasus.
everyone
I
has
know.
access
I
to
know
Arrow
Black
Pegasus.
Pegasus has been just absolutely dominating as well.
but yeah, that worlds can be another subject for a different day. That for me personally, that's for sure. But let's kind of go around the room and at least say one of our um, meta anti-meta bay combinations. So who would like to kind of go first on that?
I can start.
Of course you will.
I've been doing a lot of testing with it recently, so
Ah,
I'm more than happy to start us off with a Beyblade that, man, I really regret grabbing, but now is starting to warm up on me, and that is Tricera Press. Awful ratchet, okay bit, and I thought maybe, I could redeem the Beyblade itself, and I have with 560 level, or if you want to get real quirky with it and use its weight to your advantage, Quake, of all things.
hold on. Tricera on Quake?
What I'm hearing
You've
is
heard
Chad is prepping too much for Sam's limited event later this month. That's what I heard.
Yes, but that's not the point.
Oh my god, that's funny. Continue. I'm curious to
Don't
hear
give up
about
Yeah,
the
this.
No,
sauce,
so
Chad.
in the testing that I've done, Tricera on Quake does something that is kind of unexpected, which is it knocks the stamina out of Wizard Rod and Cobalt,
interesting.
especially if it lands on top of them, and that's because it's got so much weight hitting them on that side that even on my testing with 160 hexa and even the dreaded 960 ball Wizard Rod, if it could land a solid hit, it was an instant pocket.
Interesting.
Obviously, level did much better, but the Quake added an interesting feature of being able to knock them off of their rotational axis.
Hmm.
Obviously, the next time we do a Kraken hits get together, I will show off the combo. But obviously, 560 is a no brainer. It literally lines up with the Triceratops perfectly, there's no reason you wouldn't want to use that.
All right. Martine or Vile, who would like to go next?
So I have two bays that I think are not meta. At some point, maybe they were meta, but it's Whale Wave and was it Nightmail?
Okay.
So for Whale Wave, I have two combos for Whale Wave. It is you could do 560 point, or you could do 960 rush. I feel like both of those are pretty good. The 960 rush is kind of more like you kind of need to bank on either bursting or kind of getting an extreme pocket, because if not, you're just gonna fall over. But whale on 560 point is pretty solid as long as you could kind of flat launch it, or you could even do like a tilt launch and then try to scrape underneath. So yeah,
Okay.
I really like whale, especially when it came out. I like the motif. I like all the Mako Maiden base stuff like that. So I feel like whale's kind of underrated. It's just kind of top heavy. So if it kind of does one big hit and then it's kind of like disappointment.
It's very true. I personally also loved Whale right at the start, but like you said, it's very top heavy, so it's very bad late game.
And another one, I feel like Nightmail doesn't get used a lot, but if you're really gonna run Nightmail, then you have to kind of use either 160 hexa or 360 ball. I feel like that's the only good combos it's really viable on, unless you did 960 rush. But I feel like that's just the blade itself. I feel like that shows how kind of underwhelming the bay is, that you have to use the most broken combos for bits and ratchets to kind of get this Beyblade to work. But definitely 160 hexa or even a 360 hexa is pretty good on Nightmail.
Right. Hey, those are some good bays though. Very, very underrated bays, so definitely anti-meta.
Absolutely.
So, Vile, what is your build, sir?
So I just had the one. I've already talked a bunch this episode, so I wasn't gonna talk about more than one. Um, so I am in agreement with Martine. Maybe I like Nightmail or think it's a little better than he does because he had some opinions there at the end about it. I like Nightmail on 160 Rush.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
And I
Maximizing
especially
the
like
attack.
it because I can use the green 160 from Wizard Rod and the green Rush also from Wizard Rod, and it looks nice and green.
Mm.
It looks nice and
Remember,
green.
winning the battle is only half the battle. Doing it with style is the other half.
Who the hell says
That
that?
that's literally
Me.
for real though.
I like that though.
Listen, Cake. Let me ask you this: have you ever watched an anime where the villain is doing like a grandiose speech and all that while wearing pajamas and slippers? No, they're always grandiose, and that's what you gotta be. You gotta be grandiose with your combos. I mean, my Silver Wolf I colored matched as perfectly as possible, and let, I think anyone who's seen it can agree. It looks majestic. The fact that it is white, blue, and black in all the same areas is just, it's fantastic.
Right.
Guys, I cannot be the only one who went to the Japanese random boosters, not only to get a yellow Cobalt Dragoon, but also to get a yellow Elevate so I could have my Piss Dragoon, okay?
Oh my god. You're probably the only one.
You could have gone with Winged Dragon of Ra on that one. You went with Piss Dragon. Good
Oh,
one.
absolutely. It's just like the yellow whale is piss whale. I mean, that's yellow shark is piss shark. I mean, it's just what it is. Yeah.
Oh my god.
God.
You need to stop watching Game Grumps. It's rotting your brain.
Oh, and on that note,
It's like
yeah, on that note, I will go.
No, the joke there is that's literally something that Aaron called one of the Metal Fight Beyblades when he and Dan played Beyblades on their 10 10-hour or 10-minute power hour.
What's a 10-minute power hour?
That's where they just do random stuff,
Hmm.
not playing games.
Interesting. All right. Anyway,
Honestly, very very fun to watch. But anyways,
yeah. So my bay is actually something that Vile said earlier, which I
oh,
100% agree. This bay is completely slept on. It is so good. I've been loving it ever since the first rip. It is actually Samurai Caliber, and I have it
mm-hmm.
on. It's so good, and I have it on 670 hexa.
Ooh, getting that extra height in there. I see you.
Yeah, just a little bit, and then the hexa is doing hexa things. Hexa's is so great. It's so versatile. It's an attack. It's a defense. It's a whatever it wants to be at at the moment. So now putting
I
it
think it's
on
safe to say at this point, Hexa is the bit of Beyblade X. Like if you think Beyblade X, you think Hexa.
to date, I agree. For bitwise, yes, I do agree with that. 100%. X is I I give it at least an A tier. Is it amazing? No. Does it have its flaws? Absolutely, just like every other bit and everything. But so I give it at least a high A tier. But yeah, that's my anti-meta main build, which I actually do have in my main deck. So it's been running really smooth since I put it in and loving it ever since. And now the last thing
There you
also,
go.
yeah, also the last thing coming from Andrew from a our previous episode. Um, he's actually been listening to this on heavy rotation all week, which is we do really appreciate everyone listening to this wherever you guys are listening at the grocery store, doing chores around the house or work or wherever you guys are listening to this. So we do deeply and really appreciate all of the love and the support. Can you guys touch on some of your favorite Bays underrated and or most hot take combos? So we're kind of bleeding both of them really into each other. But what is your guys' favorite Bay to date? So who would like to take the reins on that one?
Mhm. I'll start us off because I think we all know which one mine is. Ever
Shadow
since I
Shinobi.
got Elevate, no, no, I don't even have that. No, no. Ever since I got Elevate, I have to admit I have been loving Cobalt Dragoon, and especially now that, or especially since when I first got Cobalt Dragoon, the first thing I did was I printed out a Bay chip with the Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh on it.
That's what's
So
up.
now Cobalt Dragoon is Blue Eyes Cobalt Dragoon.
Hey Chad. Said
Yes.
your favorite underrated Bay.
Oh, probably Rourke Tyranno, something like that.
He's
I'm kidding.
obviously
I'm
he's
kidding.
obviously
Okay.
much less passionate about Roar Tyranno. He had this whole
He's
speech
like, he has
for
a,
Cobalt Dragoon. He's like, oh, I guess probably Roar
Yeah,
Tyranno
he
or
had a
something
whole
like
like
that.
No,
proposal
no,
speech
no.
and everything, and
That was,
oh,
ladies and
oh yeah,
gentlemen, this is what we call in the business a funny, a joke, if you will. Now, um, one Beyblade that I don't get to use that much, that is definitely not seeing meta gameplay anytime soon. I love the motif of Hell's Reaper. It is such a beautiful CX blade, but my God, unless I'm running it on a defense combo like 760 Hexa, it is losing.
Yeah, the best thing Hell's Reaper has done for us is give us kick here in
is
America.
just
That's
give us
about it.
kick absolutely.
Yeah, but it is a beautiful Beyblade to look at,
Yeah, very true.
and it
Uh,
can run decently on 760 Hexa. That's the thing.
not for long periods of time though, unfortunately. That's the
I
same
mean, not
thing.
against a wizard rod or anything on stamina, but against an attack type, it does okay.
Yeah, well, see, it's just okay because majority of all CX bays are just so top heavy. It's ridiculous. So they just fall over.
Exactly.
So they just go all anti Weeble Wobble, and then they all just fall down.
They weeble, they wobble, and then they fall down.
Yeah, they do. Martine, would you like to talk about your favorite underrated bay?
My favorite underrated bay is gonna be the most controversial,
Uh
and
oh.
that's Wizard Rot.
Get out of here. You're done.
And
But
again, that's not.
I really actually think that the Spider-Man Bay, the Viper, is the most underrated
Oh,
Bay. Same with that
Interest,
deck set that comes with Venom and stuff. I know Dransword, pretty underrated too, definitely. But yeah,
interesting.
the
That is
all-time favorite Bay is probably gonna be Shark Scale. This thing is a beast.
that's fair.
hey, I'm not hating on it.
You know, like it's hard to say what my favorite underrated Bay is when it's like if it's not a Bay I don't use frequently, it's like it's probably not something I enjoy using.
Yeah,
So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know, man. I'm a meta slave, bro. I like playing what's good. Shark
That's the
Scale is
Pokemon in
definitely
you.
good. That's the
that I would,
Pokemon in me.
yeah, about to say that's 100% Pokemon. Actually, that's we keep
That's
Card games
referring
in
to
any
general.
them
card game or
as
anything that involves buying stuff.
yeah, it's really any TCG at this point. It's all just meta money at that
TCGs are
point.
just gotcha games at this point.
Yeah, who has more money and everything else like that, and who has the most luck, and but that's beside the point. Vile, what is your favorite underrated bay?
So this one's on like the fringe of meta like competition. Um, this is Samurai Caliber. I think is like my favorite underrated bay for like play. Even though like it sort of hovers around the meta conversation, like times I do think it is being underutilized.
Oh,
If we're
absolutely.
talking something that's incredibly far away from the meta and what's actually my favorite bay from like an appearance standpoint and what I have in my deck box, even though it is not competitive in tournament play, would be Crimson Garuda.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a good hot take.
I've had success against some meta stuff with Crimson Garuda. And I could maybe do even more with it if I was more of a tester and stuff, but I'm really not. My testing usually consists of going to Jacob Palm's channel and seeing what he's running recently. So, um, yeah, that's about how much I test. Is I go to Jacob Palm's YouTube channel and I watch his latest tournament report, and then I look at what he's doing and I try to emulate that as close as I can.
Hey, that's fair.
What about you,
That's one
Cake?
way to do it.
My favorite underrated bay is probably the bay that really made me fall in love with the game, and that is Samurai Saber. I
Ooh.
man, I love Samurai Saber. Just the design is so smooth. The under the underneath swords and everything. Right off of right seeing that, I tried so hard to get it, but couldn't find it anywhere unless I wanted to pay a stupid amount for it, which 5 months later, it's literally in stores with a launcher and everything. But I love
Yeah.
Samurai Saber. It's just so slick. I actually have it in another. It's in a second deck box, just just hanging out. So if I
It's
could,
I mean, it's
crazy how much
also very
it's crazy how
usable
much
too.
things shift when they come to America. I remember people were paying, I think, like 40 to 50 for
yeah,
Samurai Saber from Japan.
hmm
And then now you can walk into any Target anywhere in town, 25 bucks out the door. You know, like
yeah, and
it's crazy.
the $40 to $50 was just for the bay probably itself.
Well, that launcher was incredibly popular when it first came
Oh
out.
yeah, true. So we have someone in the comments saying my favorite anti-meta bay is Tiger on 180 wedge.
Ooh,
I bet that
that's got some
What,
heat to it.
White Tiger?
wise Tiger.
Oh, I thought it's White Tiger in Japan.
It could be.
See, that was one, and you'll know because you were at the practice last Wednesday. But I if I go to the limited thing and actually play, which I'm considering, I was planning on bringing White Tiger. So
Hey. So for those who are going to that tournament, which we are about to get into right now, look forward Vile playing Wise Tiger.
if I
Ooh.
go, I'm not 100% confirmed yet. We'll see what I have going on. But
Interesting. All right, so we still have quite a bit of tournaments coming up this month and next month.
Indeed.
So, just so everyone is aware, every Wednesday there is a weekly free play at Kraken Hits every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. until about midnight or so. Open to literally anybody, regardless on if it's your first shoot, if it's your 1,000 times shoot, or whatever. Come out, hang out, and come hang out with us. It's a good time. Then we got um, an event on October 18th. So this coming Saturday, it is at the library
Ooh.
downtown Minneapolis Central Library. That is starting up at 11 a.m. That is hosted by Acuna. So that's gonna be a really fun tournament. There are plenty of spots. All these events have plenty of spots, if I'm not mistaken. Um, then we also have a Kraken Hits. This will be the limited tournament that Vile just talked about. This will be on October 25th. So next Saturday, starting at 2 p.m. Doors will probably open at 1 o'clock because they normally open up an hour beforehand. So a limited tournament is if the bay is, if I'm not mistaken, if it passes a certain weight limit, plus all CXs are not allowed. So it's going to be a really fun event. Um, then we have
it is going to be fun. And real quick, guys, if you are not sure what limited entails, if you go to the WBO event page for that, Sam does have an infograph there that explains what's allowed and what's not.
yeah, and everyone is super welcoming and very helpful at Kraken Hits. So if you're not 100% sure, bring your builds and be like, "Hey, is this fine to run?" Compared to getting right at the stadium and the judge says, "Hey, you can't run this." Then you got to figure out what else to run. So you don't know what you don't know, so just ask questions. But it's gonna be a really fun tournament. I wish I could make it, but I got work obligations to do. So then we got the 26th, which is a level X championship. That is going to be in Minneapolis. I believe that is a invite only, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that is the invite only. But I'd bet you guys can just kind of still go on and check it out. Go watch some bays live. Buy some really good bladers. Then we are going into November. We as of right now we have 4 for already November, and we're already not even midway into October yet. So that's huge. October 9th, which is a Sunday, which will be at Kraken Hits at 2 p.m. This is another ranked tournament. So if you want to get your WBO rank up, come to this event. Still plenty of spots opened up for that as well. Then just found out today that we have Vile's event. That is the 15th. Did you say at 5 Vile?
Yeah. The 15th of November, start time for the event 5 p.m. Doors will open at 4 p.m.
There you go. So that has not been officially announced yet.
It'll be there tonight.
Yep. So definitely keep your eyes up on that as well. Um, then November 22nd, which is a Saturday, starting at 11 a.m., and Dreamers Vaults in South St. Paul. This is a November Knockout 2025. This one is also put on by Acuna. And then the same day, which I thought got brought to his attention, but so either they're still trying to figure it out, or I don't know what's going on. But also on October 22nd at 2 p.m. is another Kraken Hits ranked tournament. Yeah, so all these events are going to be a really great event. So if you are not too sure on anything, just make sure you reach out, comment, or whatever, and then I will do my best to kind of get back to you as fast as possible. But also check out the WBO and then register for all these events if you possibly can, because they're just super fun. Other than that, is there anything else that we kind of should be touching on? It's a little bit shorter of an episode than we normally do, but we have a lot of information in just this short amount of time.
Well, let's see. I mean, is there anything, guys? We talked about the new bays. We talked about tournaments. We talked about upcoming tournaments. We talked about underrated bays, our personal favorite, like less than meta bays. I mean, we could talk about worlds, but I feel like that could be an hour.
I mean,
But
do you guys have time to talk about it? We could probably add it into this episode.
yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk about worlds for a little bit. I watched quite a bit of it, so and I've seen some of the infographics about bay usage and whatnot. So
One, I don't have a lot of time to, and two, I haven't had a lot of time to watch a lot of the recap, so I'm still slowly going through that. But from what I have seen, it looked like a really good tournament. But I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that because I have my personal thoughts on some things.
Yeah, we could definitely cover it more on the next episode.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, let's plan for that. Let's all brush up a little bit on what happened, and let's cover it next episode. The one thing I will say though, and this is nothing to do with, it's very quick. Those knee pillows. Like, why are people playing on the floor? Like that is gonna bother me to no end.
It's probably just because it's that Japanese Asian culture that they're because they eat on the floor like that. I don't know.
I think it's
How
just
about that.
the game. The game is designed to be played on the floor. That's why.
Is it?
It's more than just that.
I mean, if you look at go ahead, chat.
Martin. There's an actual rule about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. The game was intended to be played on the floor and not on stadiums. So that is why you're seeing that. It's called the floor rule. And that's because it almost came to pass that they wanted the rule to be you have to play it with the deck on the or with the box on or the stadium on the floor itself.
So they could sell you knee pads, right? Got them.
No.
Next thing you know, it's going to be like every person required to join the tournament needs the knee pads. You never know.
God. Anyway, I usually do matches on the floor, but I am opening using a podium and using a table. Yeah, I've never personally used the floor. I've used a lower stadium, but I haven't really used the floor.
Yeah. Well, the joke with it being there on one of the sheets that you get with your Beyblades, it mentions that how you're supposed to orient the stadium, and it specifically mentions don't put it on like a table or any place high, but to place it on the floor. And it's like, okay, so they're telling us to literally just sit on the floor and play with them.
I mean, they probably just want us to. I don't know the ruling behind it, but
I can just
I'll
imagine.
I'll send it. I'll send it in the Discord here real quick.
yeah, do that.
It's not like
One
a
of these.
rule, but you can
I could
clearly
send
see
you a
they're like,
picture of
don't
it
don't put it
translated.
on like a table.
Oh,
See, I can just imagine you guys because you guys have all seen me at practices, even though I don't play in events really too often. You guys have seen when I'm at practices how often when I'm playing specifically because of how I launch, either my bay or the opponent's bay goes flying out of the arena. I
mhm.
could just imagine the stadium being on the floor and people hovering their faces over the opening to, get a good viewpoint on what's going on. And the bay just flying out and just nailing someone in their face. Like,
I've yeah.
You
I think
bleed for
we've
the sport you love.
yeah. I think we've all almost seen that.
So here, I could kind of. Oh, did I post it in the wrong? Oops,
Oh, wrong chat. Sorry, mom.
wrong chat. Wrong chat,
whoopsie
guys.
doopsie.
yeah. Hmm.
These are the translated photos.
Oh yeah, I mean, people are. I mean, that those people are literally down in. I can't say that on the air. An inappropriate position. That's what we'll call it.
Downward
in
facing
the
dog.
in the bottom right one. If you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, yeah,
see what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
Where
Downward
they,
facing dog yoga pose.
Yes, yes, they're doing yoga. That's what's going on.
That's what they're doing. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anyway, uh, other than that, I think we are
Oh,
all.
I have one last thing to say. It's very small. Guys, if you have a 3D printer or know someone who does, or know someone who does 3D printing commissions, like Chad's friend AJ or Plain Egg Salad or whoever else, I found these super dope ripcord holders that will protect your ripcords from getting dirty or damaged in transport. And the other positive side effect is it straightens them out.
Oh, interesting.
They're really cool. You should check them out if you don't have them or haven't heard of them and are having problems with uh, dirty or curled ripcords.
All right. Well, other than that, I think we are all set to go. This was another great episode for sure. So, um,
Absolutely.
yeah. If you guys haven't done yet, so go check out beysandbricks.com using code word SPINZONE to get 7% off of your final purchase. And like Vile said, if you buy more than one of the same product, you will get an additional 10% off. So that's a lot of money's off. So look forward to the holiday season. Stack up on stuff. Use code word SPINZONE at checkout for 7% off of your final purchase. We do appreciate all you guys for checking out the Spin Zone podcast today on any of the uh, streaming services that you guys check us out on. It's been a really long day, very long week. My brain is completely fried. So much love for all you guys, and so long. Stay safe. Have a great and awesome rest of your day, and amazing rest of whatever it is for